So welcome everybody to this really lovely event, the graduation event for the class of 2023-2024. I'm never quite sure how to call it. The course started in 2023 and ended in 2024. And in case you're wondering why Stephanie, who is supposed to have said these opening remarks and to be our host, unfortunately, Stephanie has got laryngitis and has asked us to then run the session on her behalf, on behalf of Wits University, whose event this is, although arguably the event is actually that of the graduates. So what we're going to go through is we will play a few pre-recorded messages. We will go through then the highlight event, which is calling out the roll call of graduates. And all of those will be done by representatives from Wits University. We will also have some things that are prepared statements that Stephanie has made, which will be read out by some members of the faculty. So with that, let me see, what should I also want to highlight to you that at some stage, a big difference in today's meeting is that we will have an opportunity for you to make comments. But as always, this is a Zoom meeting, so feel free to pop your comments and your feelings of elation associated with this proud moment into the chat.
Good afternoon and welcome to everyone. Today we are gathered virtually to celebrate the graduation of dossier assessment for clinical assessors within African Regulatory Agency course for 2023/2024. It is a significant moment marking the end of months of hard work, dedication, and learning. Throughout this course, our goal has been to equip clinical assessors with African regulatory agencies with a comprehensive understanding of the approval process for medicines. We have delved into critical aspects of clinical data generation during drug development and its submission as part of regulatory dossiers. We have provided practical insights and tools to address the challenges associated with clinical regulatory review, emphasizing the importance of adherence to good practice standards. This cohort of graduates has been especially unique as for the first time, we have welcomed participants not only from regulatory agencies, but also private regulatory practitioners. This mix has brought a fresh perspective to our course and has significantly enriched our discussions and experiences. To our graduate class, today we celebrate your achievements, and so on behalf of the faculty, I wish to extend a heartfelt congratulations to each of you on your successful completion of this course. Your dedication and perseverance have brought you to this day. And I have no doubt that you will continue to make meaningful contribution to the field of regulatory science. Now let us move on to today's agenda. We have some excellent speakers lined up to share their insights and why our work matters. After that, we will hear from key stakeholders and faculty members about the impact of the program. Then we will move on to the highlight of the day, the graduate roll call. Each of you will be recognized for your achievements, and then we will hear from our last speaker, who will share her insights from graduate to faculty and the importance of this course, what it has done on her professional journey. As we wrap up, I will share some closing thoughts on our time together and what lies ahead. Thank you for now.
So thanks very much, Stephanie, for those really lovely words, those lovely opening words. And you heard the voice there of MAPS, who was one of the faculty members today in the course. Our next speaker is Dr. Tumi Sumete. Tumi is in the room, but as we did with Stephanie's presentation, this would be a recording that we will play. Good to see you, Tumi.
Good day, everyone. My name is Tumi Semete and I'm the CEO of the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate this cohort of the third iteration of the Clinical Assessor Training Program. I think you guys have done a stellar job, and thank you for your commitment to this program. I'd also like to thank our partners, Pharmacometrics Africa, as well as the Department of Pharmacy and Pharmacology at the University of Wits. Without these partners, we would not be able to do what we have done and delivered on the stellar training program. This program is not only focused on enabling regulators in South Africa, but we've been intentional about making it a truly Pan-African program. A program that includes, at this stage, about 9 African regulators who have all participated. And this demonstrates the intention of us as regulators to collaborate, to jointly develop capacity for our respective countries, but also for the continent, because we understand that product regulation crosses all manner of borders. We would like to thank this cohort for making the time to undergo this training, because we understand that as we are supporting our respective teams and capacitating our regulators, this goes a long way in ensuring that the public can access safe, quality, and effective products. And with that said, I'd like to congratulate all of you, and I hope you will share good word about this program so that we will continue to roll it out across the country as well as across the continent.
Graduating class of 2024, guests, family, faculty, and friends. Another class, our third. Another year has passed, and I'm searching for adjectives to describe how I feel. Excited, proud, enthusiastic, optimistic, mainly because the African regulatory landscape is poised for impact. And class of 2024, you are one of my major reasons for these sentiments. Over the past 3 to 6 months that we have interacted as faculty and learners, you showed us that African agencies are yearning for skills beyond only assessing bioequivalence of generic medicines. You lapped up the content in the lessons that covered assessment of dossiers for innovative medicines, vaccines, small molecules, biologics, and biosimilars. You wanted more when we spoke about critical appraisal of the scientific and regulatory literature. You deeply engaged with the faculty when we touched on cutting-edge topics like real-world evidence, artificial intelligence, and model-informed drug development. And you gave a strong thumbs up when we suggested that we needed more patient perspectives into drug discovery, development, and regulatory assessment of therapeutic interventions. Some of these might be due to changes that we made to the course in this third iteration. We added 3 past students as faculty in the course. Ntombi, who you'll hear from soon, and Maps from SAPRA, and Ada from Ghana FDA. They were superb in bringing in empathy and their experience of what worked and could be improved on from the first 2 iterations. We cautiously added in participants from the private or non-regulatory agency sector, and this worked brilliantly. In the paper that we published in the British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology by Dr. Tumi and some of us, she asked for this as a long-term tactic. This is the paper. And I quote, she asked for identify compliant mechanisms to partner with the pharmaceutical industry for combined training of industry and agency regulatory scientists. It was great to be able to do that. We ended the formal lecture sessions with the final session beamed out live from the SAPRA offices in Pretoria, South Africa. The theme for this last session was regulators and sponsors as partners for patient benefit. And for the first time, we included a speaker from a patient representative group or a patient advocacy group. She was amazing in calmly, vocally advocating to us that the patient voice is essential. We'll do a lot more of that in the next time we run this course. But perhaps a highlight for me is that this year, more than in the previous 2 years when we ran the course, I felt that the small group discussions worked really well. The participants and faculty engaged with topics like how do the course materials apply within the countries and agencies represented by the class of 2024? You've heard it already. That's Botswana, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Namibia, Rwanda, South Africa, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe. They debated as to how did some of the global north so-called best practices apply locally in Africa. In several cases, the sharing of knowledge was eye-opening for the teachers and the students. The teachers, the faculty, all of them international and regional subject matter experts, could learn from their students who were all practitioners of regulatory science and who provided perspectives that have not previously been tapped. This brings me to Africa's most exciting news related to drug regulation, the African Medicines Agency. Those of you that are following the AUDA-NEPAD news will know that there has been consistent progress on AMA, now agreed to be physically located in Rwanda. Our class of 2024 have heard directly from some of the key people involved, and we are confident about the efficiencies that AMA must bring towards regional reliance efforts and regulatory harmonization. Now for a few acknowledgements. I want to acknowledge the large number of subject matter experts who very readily agreed to share their vast collective experience. This enriched this course and created lasting networks among the faculty and the students. Many of them are in this call or will watch this recording offline. Thank you once again. The partnership with Wits University, you've heard from Stephanie, and you'll hear from her again just now. This has brought an important academic validation to this vocational educational course. SAPRA, as our primary host with Dr. Tumi, and our team at Pharmacometrics Africa are already working on projects and programs that will expand the network of collaborating universities across Africa and internationally. Please get in touch with either Dr. Tumi or myself or Stephanie if you want to get more involved. My warm and sincere thanks to our colleagues at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, our funder for this program. They have been consistent with their financial support and all the related efforts to strengthen regulatory science in Africa that they undertake beyond just investing money. Finally, let me remind this graduating class of 2024 that this graduation ceremony is only the beginning. We will be coming back to you for feedback on what to change. And over the next year at least, we will periodically formally touch base with you. Stephanie will do this or somebody else from the Pharmacometrics Africa team. And we will be asking you for anecdotes on how the course has impacted your development as a regulatory scientist. Please respond. We will and already do use this input to improve, but more importantly, funders get encouraged to further invest when they see evidence of impact. Good luck and strength to you and all of the related efforts by people in this meeting, in this graduation ceremony, and elsewhere, the efforts that aim to contribute to ensuring safe, effective, and quality medicines for our people. Thank you. And now for the graduate roll call, Stephanie has arranged for Maxine Turner, one of the academic staff members in her group at Wits University, to do the call, to read out the names. So this is the most important moment of this graduation ceremony. So over to you again, Gabe.
Alphonse Ndayambaje, Amanda Nyaruwanga, Anesu Kundishora, Asefa Ijamo, Bertha Alpo, Bezalel Kumhukamwe, Bramwell Tongola, Chanel Besta, Chelsea Mola, Dan Moyne, Ilolo Akpabli, Angelina Ramoba, Esti Bosch, Frida Shiguedla, Isai Sabimana, Jesse Kuntwa, Kevin Wangoko, Luleka Dlamini, Lungili Simelane, Maputi Siema, Millicent Ontwi, Miriam Seteni, Nyasha Guza, Pamela Nambua, Pranusha Pillay, Pronalis Tapfumaniye, Rol Jean Cluter, Rebecca Aguiraneza, Rosemary Njogu, Samantha Pillay Chengia, Shanaz Ali, Tariro Makonese, Tapelo Ntwanga, Tilma Nivot, Tumo Pela Kikai, Yalemze Wed Ankela, Salelem Aishum.
So my virtual hand is sore. My physical hands are. So congratulations, everybody. Well done. Well done. Now we will hear from Ntombi. Ntombi was a former faculty, as a former graduate of the class, and was a faculty this year. And she's going to give us some perspectives from the students. And then immediately thereafter, we will go into the open microphone option. So let's hear from Ntombi.
Good morning and good afternoon, esteemed faculty members, special guests, and the graduating class of 2023. I am Ntombi Mtembo, a medicine registration officer in the clinical unit at SAPRA, and a graduate from the clinical assessors class of 2021. The generation and compilation of clinical data for marketing authorization is a very lengthy and often complex process. So too is the assessment of the clinical dossier. The assessment process can be made even lengthier when an assessor must go and conduct research to understand certain data submitted in the dossier. Most regulatory agencies in Africa are facing resource constraints, not only by human capacity, but also technical expertise. Often, clinical assessments for both complex and simple molecules must be conducted by the same small pool of evaluators. To close the gap in technical expertise, these regulatory agencies, including SAPRA, have made an investment to send clinical assessors to attend the clinical assessors course. The training has been beneficial to me and fellow course graduates. We have progressed from conducting minor clinical application evaluations to evaluating major applications with clinical data, and that is in both new applications and variation applications. For these graduates, the clinical assessors course has closed gaps in the medicine development process and the assessment of clinical data. It has also provided knowledge and technical expertise for the risk-benefit evaluation of medicines, just to name a few clinical aspects covered in the course. These are skills that are crucial in ensuring the registration of safe, efficacious, and good quality medicines for the patient. The course has enhanced the evaluation competency of the clinical units and enabled the timeous evaluation of clinical aspects of applications received for marketing authorization. In the 2023 year, the course evolved to include 3 former students in the faculty as chairs and co-chairs for some of the tutorials, and that included myself. This allowed us the opportunity to be a part of the planning of tutorials and leading breakout session discussions. Preparation of the tutorials was conducted several weeks ahead of the presentation. Preparation included selection of speakers, chairs and co-chairs, meetings between the faculty, local and international expert guest speakers, sharing of presentation material between the tutorial coordinators and speakers, and planning of the breakout session questions. The level of commitment and planning demonstrated by the faculty members was outstanding, and being allowed to participate as a faculty member further added to capacity building that will allow for in-house training. In the year 2023, the course also introduced participants from industry, and they provided interesting and different perspectives in the breakout session discussions. The breakout sessions were sometimes challenging, as breakout session leaders had to ensure that no man was left behind, and all were given an opportunity to make their contribution towards the topic in discussion. The sessions were diverse, as they comprised of at least 1 student from each regulatory authority and 1 from industry. The breakout sessions further then blended in well with the final lesson for the year that emphasized the need for collaboration between industry, regulators, and other private healthcare players for patient benefit. The course was a series of self-study lessons with blended modules of learning such as PowerPoint slides, videos of previous lessons, forum discussions, and quizzes. This course is one of the best for regulatory assessors, and I would recommend it for all stakeholders in clinical data generation, compilation, and assessment arenas. My key message for the class of 2023 is that implementation after the course is important, no matter how small. Start implementing lessons learned. And even for the private students, consider what you have learned in the course as you submit dossiers and compile clinical data for submission to the regulators. For the course to continue being beneficial and for course evolvement, it is important to provide feedback to the providers when it is requested. To the managers and executive members of regulatory authorities and industry in attendance, please provide these graduates the opportunity to implement lessons learned. To the faculty members, well done on the excellent lesson planning and delivery. And finally, congratulations, class of 2023.
So great messages. Thank you, Ntombi. So we're now into open microphone. So just raise your hand, or if you already have the opportunity to be able to do that, just unmute and talk. I'm going to allow about 10 minutes for this. Who wants to kick off? It'd be nice if we had at least 1 comment from a student and 1 comment from a faculty member. Sam, I know that I can always count on you. So you're going to get us started. That's great, Sam. Professor Sam Salik.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Colin, for this really landmark opportunity on the calendar of the course. And I really offer my heartfelt congratulations to all the graduates who have worked very hard, challenging, having a full-time work as well as, attending all the course modules and the workshops. It's not easy, being able to multitask, but they have done brilliantly. And, some of the comments throughout the programs and the outcomes of the workshop has been the testament to their hard work. Many, many congratulations. I also want to take the opportunity to thank all the faculty members, because I know some of them go beyond the call of duty and the extra mile, which they should be, infused and congratulated to continue the good work. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Sam. Dr. Toomey, would you like to say something in addition?
No. I really would like to hear from the faculty, and thanks, Prof. Sam and some of the candidates. No, thank you.
Brilliant. Arnold, please go ahead. Dr. Arnold Volto, Professor Arnold Volto.
Yeah, thank you, Colin. I feel really honored that I'm part of the faculty in this course. I learned a lot from the feedback from the students, the questions they had, and it drove me actually to go deeper into the needs of African countries, the competency development, as we have been discussing, Colin. And I really hope that the efforts that we make all together are contributing to better access of African patients to biological medicines, and then from my perspective in particular, biosimilars. I've noticed this year again that in local regulations there are still a couple of barriers, and I'm really hope I can dig into that deeper in the next course, and that maybe we can spread that information also to previous students, because there have been some papers out now that really shed some light that some of these local regulations are not really helping patients and are not helping you also as regulators. So this is what I would like to contribute. And congratulations, all of you, of course.
Thanks very much, Arnold. Professor Stuart Walker, please.
I would like to add my congratulations as well to the class of 23-24. I have to say that this has been a thoroughly enjoyable course for me to participate in. I have a particular interest in the African continent, as many of you may know. I've been working now with some 20 or more agencies in that continent. And as we work towards establishing and implementing African Medicines Agency, it's so important that the agencies themselves are able to come up to a particular standard that they may offer their opportunities to implement the standards that are really important in regulatory reviews. I see that this particular course is outstanding and very different to any other course that I've been involved in. I think the standard of faculty is exemplary, and I believe that I've been overwhelmed by the enthusiasm of the participants and the way in which they have contributed and given their time and their effort to this particular course. I believe that as the agencies themselves move towards being assessed by the WHO GBT agency and move towards maturity levels 2, 3, and even 4, I believe that this course will help those agencies as they move towards that particular standard. So congratulations. I've enjoyed being involved, and I hope that I can continue to contribute in the forthcoming years. Thank you very much.
Well, those are wonderful words to hear from those two colleagues. Professor Bernd Rosenkrantz, before I give you the floor, I just want to read out a comment from Frida, unless Frida wants to say it herself. This is Frida from Namibia. Frida's popped something into the chat. I'll just keep saying a few things until she tries to unmute and say it live or read it out live. Otherwise, I'll read it out for her. Frida, do you want to try?
Hi,
Yes, we can hear you. Perfect. Go for it.
am I audible?
Absolutely.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So just in a nutshell, I wanted to say thank you so much to the facilitators and especially to my classmates for the 13 weeks that were highly intense, very back to back, nonstop, so much information. And it didn't feel always like we could pack on so much knowledge and take in so much within every 2 hour session that we had, but it was a lovely experience. And may we find one another again in different spheres where we are applying what we have learned, where we are building on what we have learned, and may we be the most successful regulators and clinical assessors for this continent. So yeah, cheers to everybody. I'm holding an invisible glass of champagne in the office where I am. So well done, everyone. And thank you, thank you, thank you again to the institutions that have made this possible.
Awesome, Frida. I'm not sure what time zone you're in right now, but I'm sure it's appropriate anyway. Bernd, Professor Rosenkrantz.
Yeah, thank you very much. And also from my side, congratulations to all of you for having gone through the course. It is wonderful times now actually to be in that course because of all the challenges, but also opportunities. With, as Colin has already mentioned, the African Medicines Agency, which will provide opportunities for regulation on the continent. There are now lots of novel medicines coming. We heard about the biosimilars, vaccines, other types, novel types of medicine, very challenging, but also rewarding. And there's improved access to medicines in Africa, which is also lots of work for you to come in the future. And I hope, and I'm sure confident that this course, as we also have heard now, will provide a good basis for you to work on this and continue working on this. And my standard plea always is keep the network amongst yourselves, also between the countries. You know one another now, and there are opportunities of working between different countries in the regulatory space. And that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work so well, depending on the countries, maybe also on the people, and you will be the face for your agency with interacting and networking with your friends and colleagues, whom we have to learn to know now to do something together. Congratulations, and also big bottle of champagne, virtual champagne from my side.
That's fantastic. And I love how the messages from the faculty and the students are sort of interplaying. Dr. Asem, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Colin. And as the most recent faculty member to this group, I would like to also wish good luck to all the students and congratulate them on their hard work. I am affiliated with the King's College London. However, I am Egyptian by birth, so technically African. So I have a personal interest in these modules, and as soon as I was invited to Peter Estonia, I couldn't say no. I also lead on the regulatory module at King's for the pharmaceutical medicine. Actually, this course is different, as Professor Stuart Walker said, is different, and this is what encouraged me to come over. And at this particular time for Africa and for a new drug development, this is crucial. Maybe some do not feel that now. However, in the coming years, we will see the benefit and the fruits of all the education efforts that has been going on since COVID a few years back. I think the penny has dropped, and Africans realize that we need to have initiative to start developing our own medicine. And we cannot develop medicine without knowledge. And for that, regulatory authority is a cornerstone of all the development process. Of course, we need scientists and we need medics and pharmacists. However, first, let us start with the regulatory authority. And I'm sorry if you forgive me using this platform to advertise for the charity that recently has been founded solely for the education of pharmaceutical medicine in Africa and the Middle East. We had the first conference last year in Cairo. This year conference, which I will share with all of you, will be in Jordan under the auspice of His Royal Highness, the King of Jordan, only to talk about pharmaceutical medicine and drug development, how to embed drug development in this content. Again, I enjoyed tremendously the course, and I enjoyed particularly the high standard of the students, their interaction and the quality of their questions and their answers as well. Thank you very much, and guys, all of you should be proud to be part of this course, and congratulations again. Thank you very much.
That's really great. Thank you so much. I'm going to allow Professor Pumla to say something, and then I'll move towards some closing remarks. Pumla?
In addition to all the congratulations, I'll keep it short. I just wanted to say I enjoyed actually interacting with the group this year, and I want to wish you all the best. And again, congratulations, class of 23-24.
Excellent. So I'm going to read out two comments that are on the chat, and then I'm going to see if I can entice Dr. Tumi to respond to the comments that have come through. So two comments from students in the class. Tumo, who said, congratulations to all the graduates and a special thank you to the facilitators and sponsors for affording the opportunity to improve our knowledge, which will ultimately transform into skills. Thank you. And then Esti, who was one of our private sector participants, thank you for the wonderful opportunity of allowing some of us from industry to join this wonderful course. It's important that regulators and industry work together, because together we are stronger and more successful. I thoroughly enjoyed the course. All the best to everyone. Dr. Tumi?
Thank you, Colin, and thanks for everyone, both the faculty and the candidates, for sharing their perspectives. I think there's some good feedback that's coming through from the faculty that I've taken note of, but also I think some very positive words of encouragement. What I'm seeing from the feedback from the candidates is that, Colin, we need to roll up our sleeves and plan the fourth iteration, right? The fourth iteration of this program. You know, I was quite nervous about the third iteration. I thought we'll lose some momentum. You know, people would be fatigued, and we think, you know, we've kind of reached the ceiling in terms of the number of candidates we can reach. But clearly, we need to diversify it. There seems to have been a benefit in having a range of stakeholders, both industry, patient groups, etc., represented. And I think that's something we should really take forward. But I think there's certainly a need for us to do more of this. And thank you for the feedback. I've noted it. And I hope that, you know, even outside of just this formal graduation ceremony, please do share feedback with myself. Share feedback with the respective heads of agencies. I engage with them a lot, and I'm sure they will equally share it with me. So thank you so much, Colin.
Great. And then with that, let's go to Stephanie's closing remarks. This would again be a voiceover read out by MAPS. MAPS ends, or rather Stephanie ends by calling for a virtual cap toss. So in addition to having virtual glasses of champagne, get ready to do a virtual cap toss. I'm not sure whether Zoom has that as an icon, but let's do it in whichever way we can. Gabe, over to you.
Good afternoon once more. So as we conclude our graduation ceremony and come to the end of our time together, I want to make a moment to extend my congratulations to each graduate. Your tireless effort and wavering commitment have been extraordinary. Today, we not only celebrate your individual achievements, but also the collective impact you will make in the field of regulatory science. As we gather today, let us acknowledge that our work does not end with this graduation. Instead, it marks the beginning of a new chapter, one where collaboration is paramount. Collaboration is the cornerstone of success in our endeavor and in regulatory science. It's a very essential aspect. Let us cultivate a culture of collaboration, breaking down barriers and fostering connections across organizations and borders. Together, we can continue to strive for a strengthened regulatory field and make lasting impact on global health. As we now wrap up, I would like to ask our graduates to partake in a symbolic tradition of graduation, which is the cap toss. This gesture symbolizes the transition from student to professional, from the culmination of education to the beginning of real-world application. Today, however, let it signify a unity of purpose and shared commitment to advancing regulatory science. Graduates, I invite you to stand tall, virtually holding your caps, and with exuberance and joy, release them into the air. Let this cap toss serve as a reminder of the incredible journey you have embarked upon and the bright future that awaits you. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you very much.
So thanks very much, Stephanie, for those wonderful words of conclusion. And with that, let me bring the meeting to an end. As a reminder, there is a press release. I popped that into the chat a little bit earlier. If you're into social media, then just feel free to mention that out. It helps us get the word out of the great work that this group of faculty and aspiring regulatory scientists are involved with. And then as soon as it's available, we'll also make you aware of the recording. So thank you very much. And we wish Stephanie speedy recovery and close the meeting.